With a price tag of up to 30 billion USD, Uzbekistan is betting big on a mega project called New Tashkent, a brand new skyline of skyscrapers and a modern canal system. So how exactly could this reshape Uzbekistan? Because this isn't just an architecture project, it's an economic strategy designed to pull in capital, attract investors, and upgrade the country's status on the global map. And stick around until the end, because the biggest obstacle to this megacity isn't the sheer size of construction. Instead, it's a fundamental and pressing issue, ensuring a reliable water supply in the dry climate of Central Asia. Uzbekistan sits in a strategic position at the heart of Central Asia, wedged between major powers like Russia, China, and Iran, and along trade corridors that have mattered for centuries. But for a long time, the country barely showed up on the world's economic radar. First under the Soviet era, and later under tight internal controls that kept the economy closed off. That started to change in 2016. A new president took office and pushed aggressive reforms, opening the doors to foreign investors. Money began flowing in, at times reaching more than 4 billion USD a year. And when a country shifts from closed to open for business, it needs a symbol, something big enough to force the world to pay attention. But there's a problem. The current capital, Tashkent, is becoming a bottleneck. Even as the administrative center, it's grown old, crowded, and harder to manage every year. Since the early 1990s, population density has surged, and the government has had to constantly build more housing, schools, and hospitals just to keep daily life from breaking down. And based on 2023 data, Tashkent ranks very low on livability indexes. This mega project also carries a national mission, rebuilding the country's image. It's a top presidential priority, because how the world sees Uzbekistan matters. The message is simple. People judge a country by what they can see with their own eyes. If the capital looks outdated, investors won't easily trust the story of economic growth. So New Tashkent isn't just a new district, it's a statement of a new status for Uzbekistan, built to be impossible to ignore. On energy, the project isn't limited to the city itself. It ties into a broader regional strategy for the entire Tashkent area. Renewable energy plans are already in motion, with total expected capacity reaching 2.4 gigawatts. Instead of patching old roads and upgrading one small piece at a time, Uzbekistan chose a more decisive move: build a second city from scratch. The mega project is called New Tashkent, and it sits in a bold location, about 20 kilometers, around 12 miles, east of the current capital, spreading across 25,000 hectares between the Chirchik and Karasu rivers. That's roughly 1/3 the size of Singapore, and it would almost double the city's current urban footprint. The long-term goal over the next 2 decades is to welcome about 2.5 million new residents, pushing the total population of the greater region to 7.4 million, big enough to turn this area into a new economic hub for the entire region. The blueprint focuses heavily on the 15-minute city model, meaning daily needs should be reachable within a short walk. Residential zones are organized into what they call super mahallas, inspired by Uzbekistan's traditional mahalla neighborhoods, with small streets, inner courtyards, and tightly connected community life. Each super mahalla is designed to be about 400 meters, about 1,312 feet, across, so you can walk from one end to the other in about 5 minutes. Inside these zones, essentials are placed close by. Schools within about 500 meters, around 0.3 miles. Kindergartens are even closer, around 300 meters. Clinics, shops, and small services are spread along walkways and dedicated bike paths. And the key rule: cars don't cut through the residential core. Private vehicles get pushed to the edges, leaving the inside for people, not for traffic. That idea echoes Barcelona's famous superblocks. The road network is also carefully planned, mixing a classic grid with diagonal boulevards to create smarter shortcuts, similar to the kind of layout you see in Washington, D.C. But Uzbekistan's real ambition is the technology leap. New Tashkent is expected to run on a complete digital twin, a real-time computer simulation of the entire city, from buildings to pipelines to transportation infrastructure. In theory, that could help detect risks early, like flooding or water system failures, so officials can respond before the damage costs millions of dollars. And to build a distinct national brand, they're also planning a citywide canal network running through districts and parks, turning the place into an Amsterdam of Central Asia. According to the plan, about 23% of the city's area will be public green space. Residents could walk along water and green corridors without having to cross loud, traffic-heavy boulevards. The centerpiece is a completely new skyline highlighted by a pair of twin towers expected to reach 575 meters, about 1,886 feet, placing New Tashkent among cities with some of the tallest buildings on Earth. There's also the Alisher Navoy Cultural Complex, designed to blend local brick materials with traditional ventilation techniques. On top of that, a 250 million USD tourism and entertainment complex is also part of the plan. So has this $30 billion mega project actually started? Yes. The first 6,000 hectare zone was approved in 2024, and the plan is to complete phase 1 in about 8 to 10 years. Infrastructure work is already underway, most notably an expanding metro line meant to connect the new city to the existing capital center. And a major university village system is being built at high speed, aiming to welcome its first students as early as 2027. In Uzbekistan's strategy, education and urbanization aren't just for appearances, they're a solution to the pressure of a young population. Right now, the country is facing a jobs crisis. Around 55% of young people, after finishing school, end up stuck, neither continuing higher education nor entering formal employment. With 250,000 people reaching working age every year, but job creation growing by only 1%, New Tashkent is being positioned as a strategic pressure valve, a way to create opportunities for an entire generation. To run a machine this massive, Uzbekistan is committing to 100% renewable energy, combining solar power, hydropower, and technology that uses byproducts from the cotton industry for heating and cooling. The final goal is clear: build a strong foundation to attract up to 120 billion US dollars in private investment in the future. But this mega project is running into a harsh reality. Water, all the ambition, canals, green spaces, and millions of new residents rely on a massive water supply. Yet Uzbekistan already faces a severe freshwater shortage, with much of its supply dependent on sources outside its borders. Forecasts suggest that by 2030, the country could be short up to 15 billion cubic meters of water, making this the defining challenge for New Tashkent. So the core question isn't whether they can build a tall tower, it's whether they can keep water flowing through the city at all. This is the real strategic gamble. On one side, the chance to redefine national image and pull in global capital. On the other hand, the unforgiving geography of Central Asia. New Tashkent could become a new symbol of a modern city powered by clean energy and managed through digital systems. But it could also become the most expensive lesson of all. You can't use a master plan to defeat the limits of nature. So what do you think this $30 billion mega city will turn Uzbekistan into? A new economic center, create millions of jobs, and elevate the country's position? Or will the water barrier turn it into a luxury symbol that simply isn't sustainable? If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment, hit like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next mega projects.